What's up all my Ewoks, Tribbles, Droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite superhero, Batman. Now, it's not this version of Batman, even though this one is greatest of all time, but it is the new Matt Reeves Batman with Robert Pattinson, and they released the trailer over at DC Fandom, and then I saw it because they released it over on Twitter, and that's where I saw it, and I was like, alright. It felt like a My Chemical Romance music video. The first time I watched it, I didn't like it. I liked the one scene where it shows Batman beating everyone up, and he like barely moves, and he's just like, and I was like, ooh, Ninja Batman, yes, because guess what? Batman's fucking ninja. One of the things that they haven't been able to, get right in recent adaptations of Batman. And I was like, whoa, that was dope. And then at the end, it kind of killed it with him, My Chemical Romance aspect. And I was like, oh my goodness, why? What are you doing? What is this? And I'm like, okay, I understand. Maybe it's still in post-production. Maybe they're still working on special effects, getting things done. Okay, I'm a human, I get it. As long as it's not what we see as the finished project on the big screen, alright, you just had to make something work, for now. It's like kind of putting duct tape on something. It's like, it's a quick fix, just gotta get it out, we'll fix it because we still got time before the movie actually does release. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're gonna fix it. Maybe they just had to take what they had available, at a certain point in production and put this trailer together because of everything that's going on in the world. They just had to do that, which is kind of why it's jumbled, and the story, it's not very clear. I get, obviously, if you know who Batman is, if you know what's going on, you know who the cast is, you know who all the villains are that are going to be in this movie, you got an idea. But when I watched the trailer, I was with a normie, and they were like, what's going on, who is this, what is that, what does that mean? I'm like, alright. The way that this movie was pitched, the way when they announced what this movie was going to be, was that it's going to be Batman in the beginning. He's just started off. He doesn't really have the Batcave. He doesn't have the Batmobile. Just becoming Batman. And, he doesn't have all the fancy gadgets and all that. Also, it's supposed to be him solving crimes. It's a detective movie. DC Comics is Detective Comics. Batman is the world's greatest detective. So we're finally going to get to see, in a more in-depth sense, of Batman doing detective work, being Batman. And I was like, ooh, goody, yay! But also, it's supposed to be film noir. What I saw was not film noir. Now, I'm a huge film noir fan. Chinatown, oh my god. One of the greatest movies ever made. You can love it, you can hate it. I fucking love that movie. And I was like, I'm expecting, I like that kind of stuff. So on paper, Batman, film noir style, detective movie. You're actually going to get him see him be a ninja just starting off. So he's going to have to struggle a little bit more than he would, at the peak of what Batman is, with the full in-depth Batcave, with all the gadgets, with the Batmobile. And I'm like, ooh, okay. Okay, on paper, this sounds fucking great. Sign me up now. I love Batman. I don't even care that it's the dude from Twilight, because guess what? I don't blame him for Twilight. He didn't write it. He didn't direct it. He showed up and did his job. It's a genius move for their marketing department because all of the crazy twihards are going to eat it up. They're going to buy all the merchandise. They've been waiting for this dude to come back into a mainstream role, which I was kind of confused because I'm like, didn't this guy try to go off and do other stuff so he'd be a more serious actor to distance himself from Twilight, and now he's coming back doing a mainstream role? But then I'm again, who the fuck wouldn't want to be Batman? But then I'm like, who wouldn't want to be Batman? Then why is he not working out, not doing the things required of Batman? But obviously, if whatever he's doing something right, because that action scene was awesome. Could still be his stunt double, but who knows? Because it's a bat suit, and I haven't really gone in depth to go zoom into the picture to compare his face, and they could be doing a deep fake too, also. So it's like, who really knows at this point? But from what I've seen, I'm like, okay. First time watching the trailer, didn't like it. It was like, this is My Chemical Romance. The only thing I liked about it was the whole ninja fight scene. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Not film noir. Kind of got the aspect of a detective. Now, when you're a detective, you kind of go through and you go and, look at more of the clues. Now, watching this the second time, I noticed things that I didn't notice the first time. Now, I'm not going to show this trailer because I've seen too many people and channels getting struck for it. Even, I'm kind of iffy about the still images, so if something happens and you see these images that I'm about to show blurred out, that's why. Because I don't want to get any strikes or anything on YouTube. Following fair use. Fair use, YouTube. It's a thing. follow your own damn rules if you're going to flag me and other people's channels. So, one of the things that I noticed was when they first have the first crime, and, the guy's got the duct tape on his face, the weird, childlike, weird handwriting, you're dealing with an insane psychopath. We know, because us, the audience, we know the Batman universe, we know what he's going to have to deal with, and we know who Commissioner Gordon is, we know who Batman is. Everyone in the setting, they don't know who these people are. They don't know, the cops, they don't know who the Joker is, they don't know who the Riddler is, they don't know who the Penguin is, they don't know who Poison Ivy, Two-Face, they don't know who any of these people are. So, when Commissioner Gordon and they're on a murder scene, and obviously they're dealing with a psychopath, and some dude strolls up in a weird costume in a bat suit, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? Who the hell is this guy? We got one psychopath that murdered someone, now you're bringing another one in? Commissioner Gordon, what are you thinking? But obviously just, a cop can't say anything because that's their boss. They can lose their job. And so I like the shot of when Batman's coming in, and you assume because the camera's from Batman's perspective, you assume as the audience, usually when you have a shot like that, it's because you're looking from the eyes of the character, and that's the way that those kind of scenes are set up. But if you notice, and this is what I noticed the second time I watched through, the cops aren't looking directly at the camera like I am now. They're looking up. They're looking up at Batman because Batman, big dude. You big dude. And I like that little thing where it's like, oh, okay, so we're not looking for Batman's point of view. We're looking from, the camera's point of view, and Batman's a little bit higher. And so we're watching as these cops are just, looking at him like, what the hell is going on? And I like that. I like that little detail. And it made me a little bit more like, whoa, okay, the director, Matt, he's paying attention. And I like that little aspect of it. And I'm like, ooh, okay, well, I'm down. You guys are selling me. You didn't sell me on this the first time. My Chemical Romance music video, you didn't sell me. Second time through, you're kind of selling me. And, when I saw the promotional images of, the bat suit and the cowl and everything, I didn't like it. But then seeing Batman in that scene, I'm like, okay, this isn't terrible. This looks so much better on camera moving than it did in the images. It's not my favorite version of the bat suit by any means whatsoever, but it doesn't look too terrible, if that makes any sense. It's not, in this situation, in this world that they're trying to build, I'm like, okay, that's Batman, that's Batman's suit right now. It's obviously going to get better. It's going to evolve as time goes on, and maybe he'll have a better one at the end of the movie than he does now. But I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, I am not at all as bothered by seeing this as I was when the promotional images came out. And then you have him kind of stoic and silent, and he's this looming force that is Batman. And you see other characters getting introduced, and now sometimes less is more. You don't have to, overcrowd your movie with all of the, you get a villain, and you get a villain, and you get a villain. So it's me trying to be a little bit more optimistic that they're going to have one lead villain, but because it's Batman going through Gotham, and that's another thing, why wouldn't he run into the Penguin when he's chasing the Joker? Or why wouldn't, when he's in the middle of, finding something out, he accidentally he's following a bad guy through an alley, and then there's some kind of vines that are, I don't know, that Poison Ivy left there to do some kind of trap, and they, spit, like in Jumanji with the flower that spits out the dart that's got poison that, gets the kid. These are all characters that are going around in Gotham. They don't just pause their life because Batman's over here fighting this bad guy. And they do have them in episodes, this is a Poison Ivy episode. This is, a Two-Face episode. This is a Joker episode. But when in reality, all of these characters are doing things, while other things are going on, they're not worried about who's doing what. They're villains. They're all in for it for themselves, and they're not going to put I'm sorry, Mr. Penguin, I'm going to put my plan on hold because the Joker is holding up the mayor at City Hall. No, I'm going to go steal, the thing that I wanted to steal. And so that me, a human being, I know how the real world works. So I'm like, yeah, people don't put their lives on hold because something else is going on. Yeah, maybe they might jump at an opportunity, but they're not going to just sit there and wait because a bad guy's doing something. They're like, no, they're on their own schedule. So it's not, and this is me trying to be optimistic and try to throw the movie a bone here, but if they're just planning on, maybe Batman crosses paths with different villains, and it's not one of the things where they're all trying to work together to become this big mega villain thing, and they're all going to go and fight the Batman, and it's going to be one of those weird things. But if it's just Batman going through his everyday, routine, every night routine, trying to solve these mysteries, and he just he goes into the wrong part of town, and that's where, that one gang is where he does the whole ninja scene. And, he fights them because he's in that neighborhood, and then he's on the other side of town, that's where he runs into Catwoman, or things like that. I'm like, okay, that could potentially work, and that could be setups for other movies. I don't know, but that's kind of me throwing them a bone off of the trailer. The one thing that I cannot forgive is the end with the My Chemical Romance, let me lean over without... And I get it. Okay, Batman, yes, on the cowl, he's got the space around his eyes that has the black makeup. We all know that. When it was Michael Keaton and he takes his mask off, he takes off the cowl and he had black makeup all around his eyes 1 second, and the next second he doesn't have any. It's like, okay, we know that that's not how it works. We know that the makeup was there as an audience, but sometimes, because this is a movie, it might work better to not have that there so you don't look like you're in a My Chemical Romance music video, and you might not look like you're ripping off the freaking Crow, or Kiss, or something. It looked ridiculous. And, even though it doesn't fit in with reality, again, we're watching a movie about a dude in a bat suit that's on par with Superman. We do, as human beings, take creative liberties with our minds to make up for things that don't make sense. And, that's one of the reasons why Jaws is one of the most terrifying movies ever made, because you don't see the shark until the end of the movie, and it's all in your head, and your head can create things that make it even more terrifying than it is in reality. That's why in Reservoir Dogs, you don't ever see him cutting off the dude's ear. You hear the noises, and your mind, can picture, makes up those empty spaces for you, and that's why in your own mind you can create the most terrifying things that ever exist that actually, might not be as scary if you actually do see them. Or things like this. Okay, has makeup around his eyes when he's got the cowl on, takes the cowl off, no makeup there. Guess what? It doesn't distract me, because I'm like, whoa, he went from Batman to My Chemical Romance. I think it kind of hinders it. I get it. It's reality, but it takes the enjoyment out of it for me. Anyways, I know I've kind of ranted about this a little bit, but, excuse me. I'm still recovering from strep throat, and I need a little bit more, juice. So, excuse me. Again, Batman's my favorite superhero. I am going to be a little bit critical. I'm critical about everything, but this is something that I'm like, okay, the first time through, I didn't like it. I wasn't a fan. Second time through, I'm a little bit more optimistic. There was things in it that I liked, but with the way that Hollywood is going nowadays, it's like, it's so hard to get behind things and to, get excited about something, because I've been fucked over so many times by what Hollywood's been doing, with Star Wars, with, Star Trek, with all of these franchises that I love, and they're just going down the shithole. It's really hard for me to get behind these IPs now. So it's like, I have Batman, I have the animated series, I have Michael Keaton, I, have Christian Bale, I have Batman already. So it's not going to ruin my day. It's not going to ruin my life if this Batman movie isn't good, because at the end of the day, I already, I have good Batman. So I have that to go back and watch. I sincerely hope that this movie is fantastic, that it blows it out of the water, that they don't have the whole My Chemical Romance, the music video knockoff in it, and that they fix that and it makes sense. But you don't know. With Hollywood nowadays, it's very hard to be optimistic. But anyways, everyone, I hope you like this video. Let me know what you think about this, Batman trailer in the comments below. If you haven't already, please smash the like button, and if you haven't also, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Make sure that the bell is set to all, or else you will not get notifications. It's just YouTube being YouTube. And until next time, everyone, have a great rest of your day, and may the Force be with you, because we are really, really, really gonna need it. Bye, everyone. What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and I have an Etsy store, so if you've ever wanted to own a print of my artwork, this is the place to go. As you can see, I have a lot of recognizable characters, from horror films to heroes to Star Wars characters. Some of the notable characters I have on here are Darth Vader, which I did a couple live streams painting, so you can own a print of this painting. I also have Luke Skywalker, the binary sunset version, one of my favorite favorite scenes in the original New Hope movie. I have Darth Maul, which Ray Parks himself actually complimented me on Instagram. And then last but certainly not least, Ahsoka Tano. So if you want to own any of these prints, go right on over to my Etsy store. Again, that's The Art of Anna, That Star Wars Girl, or TSWG for short. Thank you everyone and have a great rest of your day. What's up everyone? I have a P.O. box, so if you want to send me some mail, go ahead and send it to Anna, That Star Wars Girl, or TSWG for short, at P.O. Box number 28171, Santa Ana, California, 927998171. Have a great day everyone. Thank you so much.